So yes, welcome back again. So yes, y'all, it was the work-life balance at the very top. The school in Thailand provided me, one, better work-life balance. Two, they provided me with more autonomy of achieving student success. Meaning that not only will I be able to work with your curriculum and also American standards, but I will also be able to have a voice in the curriculum and the instructions of my students. Next, the school is one of those quiet, cozy schools that's not so much in the media. They don't have any. It's a traditional school of Thailand. They got a lot of traditions of Thailand, which I love that because I don't want it to be so Americanized. And the most important thing they kept saying is every review said the same thing. You will love the students. The students are so respectful. The students are so eager to learn. The students really want to be at school. And once the students adapt to the teacher, they're ready to learn and they're going to love you. Then next, this was key. I'm going to tell you the number one thing that took over all of, not the number one, but the second thing that took over everything with all of them. This particular school, the diversity was real. You had Black Americans who worked there, African Americans from Africa that worked there. You had people from Thailand that worked there as teachers. And then you also had people from Europe who worked there. And then you had white Americans who worked there. And you had people from the UK who works there. And people from India who works there. See where I'm going, y'all? That diversity. Because one of the things that I had a concern with the other schools, now the school in the UAE, it was a few white people that worked there. I think it was like 2. However, everybody else was from the UK. Some part of the UK. And that was it. And then the school in Japan, I think it was like 2 or 3 people of color that was there. One of them was a black lady. And then the other one, I think, was a white African lady. No men. No black men, I'm sorry. Everybody else was just, from Europe and the UK. And I think a couple are from India. And then a few from Japan. I'm sorry, then Japan people. And China. So those are things, the reason why I was like, I don't know. I can't go that route, even though they are paying the most out of all 3. And then most importantly, the conversation with leadership in Japan just turned me in a different direction. And among a few other things, but I don't want to talk about them, but I have to say, in the process of interviewing for international jobs, one thing I learned from someone else, you got to do a vibe check. A vibe check in the interview. Don't let the money lead you in the direction. A vibe check. And when I say about a vibe check the vibes of the room while you're interviewing and the people that are interviewing you. If you went through what I went through with the particular school in Japan, where you can tell one of them just do not really want you at that school, but everybody else is like, yes, we want him, but the leader in charge is looking sideways and that person's vibe is just really not vibing with you, then take that as one of your reasons why it may not be the best choice, because you don't want to get all the way in someone else's country and have an issue, and that is on your record internationally. So hope that explains a bit more, but I'm gonna dive deeper into my whole thing with Thailand shortly. and talk a little bit more. I may redo some things on the video so I can get a little bit more detail. Have a good one, y'all.